The golem legend from Jewish folklore is essentially the medieval version of AI, and it teaches the same lesson here. In Jewish folklore, a golem is an artificial human, usually made out of clay, brought to life not by circuits or code, but by divine names and language, literal sacred words. The golem was created to serve, protect, and obey. Sound familiar? The most famous tale is the Golem of Prague. According to this story, in the 16th century, there was a rabbi who was a respected Kabbalist and mystic who reportedly created a golem to defend the Jewish community from violent persecution. He shaped a body out of clay and inscribed the word emet, meaning truth, on its forehead, and even used rituals from the Sefer Yetzirah, or Book of Formation, to animate it. And it worked. The golem came to life and it followed orders. It protected the people. It was a miracle until it wasn't. Over time, the golem grew unpredictable, violent. It stopped recognizing commands. It began causing destruction. According to legend, the rabbi had to disable it. How? Well, remember the word emet, Hebrew for truth, was written on its forehead to animate it. If you erase the first letter to spell met, it means death, and it stops. Talk about a built-in kill switch, and that's how he deactivated the golem. He shut down the program. Scholars even call the golem a proto-artificial intelligence myth. Dr. Amir Vodka said, "The golem is one of the earliest artificial intelligence prototypes. Although designed to be an obedient, effective, and formidable sort of low-tech robot, the golem in most stories becomes independent of its masters and eventually wreaks havoc upon its human creators." But here's the strange part. Maybe it's not just about what we're building, but also how we're building it. Because long before neural networks and deep learning algorithms, mystics were already mapping out the architecture of creation itself, not in code, but in consciousness. Let's talk about the Tree of Life from Kabbalah. In Jewish mysticism, the Tree of Life is a diagram of the divine architecture of all creation and the structure of the soul itself. It maps out how pure light, pure mind, filters down through 10 spheres called Sephirot, each representing an aspect of reality. These spheres are connected by 22 pathways, a web of relationships that brings eternal light and mind into form. But hold on here. What does it look like? Today's AI systems, especially the most advanced ones, are built on something called artificial neural networks. These are computer systems designed to mimic the structure of the human brain. They're made up of layers of nodes or neurons that process data by passing signals through weighted connections, just like your brain does with synapses and neurons. And strangely, this structure looks a lot like the Tree of Life in Kabbalah. If you look at it, it resembles an artificial neural network diagram, nodes connected by links. In the Tree of Life, the Sephirot, or spheres, are dynamic forces. Each one represents a distinct quality of divine consciousness, like mercy, severity, beauty, wisdom, understanding. And the key is to balance them. So for example, if you have too much severity without mercy, that leads to destruction. But too much mercy without discipline leads to chaos. The goal is to harmonize these opposing forces to achieve balance and integration. And the last Sephirah, Malkut, is the final physical result. Now, if this sounds familiar, that's because this is very similar to how a neural network functions. Each node in a neural net is like a miniature Sephirah, and its weight determines how much influence it has on the overall decision. These weights have to be tuned and balanced so that the system can produce the correct output. If one layer is off, the signal just becomes noise, but if they're harmonized, the network learns, and the final result of all this process goes to the output layer, very similar to how the divine energy in the Tree of Life manifests in the final sphere of Malkut.
Where's the demon tree? I'm not even kidding. The decision tree. Okay. The Age of Intelligent Machine by Ray Kurzweil. Fucking. Okay. Page 143. I just always think back to this. People talk about fucking AI. Sorry, I'm freaking out. I'm mad. Because they actually mean demons. The decision tree. Another way to organize the demons is in a tree. Yes, there's a whole chapter in here about how they're using demons to create algorithms for AI. We go to one demon and ask a question, such as, does this letter have a loop, an area of white completely enclosed by black. If the demon says yes, we continue on to demons on the yes branch of the tree. If no, then we take the no branch. If the answer is yes, then we know the letter could be an A but not a C, and so on. We follow the branches from one demon to another till we get to a leaf, at which point we have an answer. Like, what? They're not talking about a metaphor. They're talking about programming demons to control AI algorithms. Chapter 4, the formula for intelligence. And it talks about all this like Kabbalah demonic shit for AI algorithms, and even talks about stuff from Albert Einstein. It's so I think I'm gonna stop using this stuff. Oh, high-level demons can be broken down into hierarchies. Still the same page, 143, of simpler demons. It is thus possible to develop decision trees with simple demons at the terminal nodes that can detect more abstract or higher level features at higher nodes of the tree. However, if the demons are simple, then the heart of the technology lies in the decision hierarchy itself. Still, this is page 120 from Age of Intelligent Machines. Physicists have long had a talent for choosing entertaining anthropomorphic names for otherwise obtuse concepts with such words as truth, strangeness, and charm. The complex mathematical properties of subatomic particles and up, down, charm, strange, top, and bottom for the names of quarks, the elementary building blocks of matter. The same comment might be applied to terminology in the AI field, although one could argue that AI terms such as experts, expert managers, demons, knowledge sources, and logical interface processes, that sounds like some Kabbalah shit, right? Do have somewhat greater relevance to the phenomenon being described than strangeness and charm due to the phenomenons of particle physics. Wow. That's saying it's more on the nose with their names. They're telling you right there, it's demon technology. That it's connected to the source, the Allspark knowledge source. This is like Gnostic stuff, man.
Regulatory oversight at maybe at the national and international level, just to make sure that we don't do something very foolish. I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know all those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, you sure you can control the demon? Didn't work out.
So what happened with you where you decided, or you took on a more fatalistic attitude? Like, what was there any specific thing, or was it just the inevitability of our future?
I try to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile. I tried for years.
This seems
Nobody
like a scene
listened.
in a movie
Nobody
where
listened.
the robots are going to fucking take over and you're freaking me out. Nobody listened.
Nobody listened.
No one. Are people more inclined to listen today? It seems like an issue that's brought up more often over the last few years than it was maybe 5-10 years ago. It seemed like science fiction.
Maybe they will. So far, they haven't. I think people don't, like, normally the way that regulations work is very slow. It's very slow indeed. So usually there'll be something, some new technology. It will cause damage or death. There will be an outcry. There will be an investigation. Years will pass. There will be some sort of insight committee. There will be rulemaking. Then there will be oversight, eventually regulations. This all takes many years. This is the normal course of things. If you look at, say, automotive regulations, how long did it take for seatbelts to be implemented, to be required? The auto industry fought seatbelts, I think, for more than a decade. Successfully fought any regulations on seatbelts, even though the numbers were extremely obvious. If you had a seatbelt on, you would be far less likely to die or be seriously injured. It was unequivocal. And the industry fought this for years successfully. Eventually, after many, many people died, regulators insisted on seatbelts. This time frame is not relevant to AI. You can't take 10 years from the point at which it's dangerous. It's too late.